So this next phase has to do with what happens when a bill passes out of committee and goes to the floor. Each house has to read the bill 3 times. Now, I'm going to tell you the straight up 3 times version, and then there are some cheating ways of doing 3 times. But at any rate, let's say the minimum wage bill passes unanimously out of committee and it goes to the House. And let's just say it's the House of Delegates. So when the House of Delegates receives that bill, it'll be posted, and the first reading will be on the next day after it's posted. So if it passes out of committee on Tuesday, then the first reading will take place on Wednesday. And that reading does not go, there's no floor debate on that reading. The next day, the second reading of the bill, the House debates that reading. So that bill comes up, and the committee chairman or the patron of the bill will say, this is what the bill is designed to do. And if the bill passed out unanimously, it'll probably be put in what they call a block. Any bills that are passed out of committees in a block are dealt with without debate. Basically without debate, unless a member of the House wants it pulled out of the block. But anyway, the patron will talk about it on the second day, and then they'll vote in all the bills in a block at one time, unless it's been pulled out. A bill can be voted down on the second read, and if it is voted down on the second read, a person can ask for a floor vote to vote it down. If that happens, that bill is dead. But ordinarily, the third reading is when the bills are taken in for final consideration. So on the third reading, the third day, they've already debated the bill. What they do is, here are the bills that are up in block. Does anybody want to have this bill pulled out of block or not? And then they'll vote for all the bills that are in block at one time. And usually that's, and these are all recorded votes, by the way. And then any bill that's came out of committee that wasn't unanimous, again, is described on the third reading very briefly, and then the vote is taken individually for that bill. For all bills that don't come out of committee unanimously, there is an individual vote, and those votes are recorded. So that's the way the House works. The Senate works just a little bit different. They debate on the third reading, but they have the same exact thing. So the debate takes place on the third reading. If a bill has come out of a committee, a Senate committee unanimously, it's put into a block unless the senator asks to have it pulled out, etc. And the third reading, they then decide whether the bill is advanced or not. So that's pretty much how it works. Now, I said there are some changes. Once bills cross over to the other side, the first reading is a constitutional first reading. It just is as soon as it's passed over to the other side, let's say our minimum wage bill in the House is voted out of the House, sent to the Senate. It is recorded in the Senate as having its constitutional first read. Even though nothing has happened, it hasn't even been assigned to a committee, it's had its first read. So that's sort of one change that takes place, but by and large, it's 3 readings. And bills that get passed closer to the end of session can sometimes have 2 or 3 readings on the same day because they have to get everything done, but they still do it that way. I think the readings really help the public to kind of take a pause back and make sure that this is the way they want the bill to be read. It gives to be passed. It gives the public time to get in touch with their members to say, I know you've been debating this on the floor. I've seen it. I still have problems with the bill. And then the member can say at any time that they want that bill passed by for the day, and you'll sometimes see that. So if there's a problem with the bill, a member will say, please pass that by for the day, and then nothing happens. It stays in a holding pattern until that member says he or she is ready to move forward with the vote. That's pretty much how it goes. Once the bill is passed out of that individual, the first House, it crosses over to the second House. And we'll talk about crossover then in our next little clip.